Welcome veterans and service members. In this video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about the VA funding fee. Now, a lot of people will understand that the VA allows you to do 0% down when buying a house, but nobody understands what the funding fee is, or even more importantly, ways to reduce it or ways to get rid of it altogether. So stay tuned till the end of this video because I'm going to show you exactly what you would need to do to make sure that you don't have to pay a VA funding fee, or if you're active duty and can't get around it, how you can reduce your VA funding fee. But before I continue any further, it's important to understand exactly what the VA funding fee is and what its purpose is. Right? So the VA funding fee is a one-time fee applied to VA home loans intended to reduce the cost to taxpayers. Now, this funding fee, you're not paying at the closing table all up front. You're actually financing this funding fee. All right, so you're not even going to notice it. It's not going to impact you being able to purchase a home. However, you might see it tagged onto your loan amount. So if you were to borrow, let's say $500,000, you might be applying for a loan in the amount of, let's just say $512,000. Okay? Let's go through ways that you can actually reduce the VA funding fee. Let's talk about them now. I'm going to pull up this chart for you. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer and this is your first time using the VA loan, what you're going to see is you're going to see a funding fee of 2.15% applied on top of your mortgage amount. Now, if it's a subsequent use, you're going to see a different fee as outlined in this table of 3.3%. Now, this assumes you're putting down less than 5% of the total property's value. But how do we get around that? Good question. Well, you could put down more money. Now, the VA has tiers. If you put down 5% or above, you'll pay less of a funding fee. And if you put down 10% or above, you'll pay even less of a funding fee on top of that. So if you were purchasing a $500,000 house and this was your first time using your VA loan and you're putting down 0%, you're going to have a funding fee of 2.15% added onto there. Now, how much is that? That means you're going to be financing $10,750. Now, if you put down 5% of the total value, so on $500,000, that would be about $25,000. Now your funding fee is only going to be $7,500. And if you're going to put down 10% or more on the property, well, now your funding fee is only going to be 1.25%, and that's going to be $6,250. So a drastic decrease of over $4,000 just right there. Now, this is huge when you're using your VA loan, but even larger when you're using your VA loan for the second, third, fourth, or even fifth time. Because for every use after that, well, now you're going to get a stepped up basis. So if you're buying a $500,000 property using your VA loan and you'd already used it before, well, now you're going to see a funding fee of 3.3%. And 3.3% of $500,000 is $16,500. So if you're using your VA loan again, that might be a little bit of incentive for you to put down maybe 5% of the total value. Because if you put down $500,000, you're going to go from a funding fee, which was $16,500, down to that $7,500 funding fee, which is a savings of about $9,000, almost 10 grand right there. 10 grand less that you're financing is really significant. Now, the VA funding fee also applies when you refinance as well. So if you were taking cash out of your property using a VA cash out refi, now for your first use using that cash out refi, it's going to be 2.15%. But for subsequent use, it's going to be 3.3% again. So it's something to consider when you're taking cash out of your property. You got to keep that in mind. But that's besides the fact. But I know you stayed tuned to this video because you wanted to find out how to get rid of your funding fee. Well, now I'm going to share it with you. In order to get rid of your VA funding fee, all you have to do is have a service-connected disability rating, which is actually a lot easier to get than you might think. Now, it doesn't matter if you have 10%, 90%, 100%, 40%. All you need to do is have at least 10%, and you won't have to pay the funding fee at all. Not when you purchase a home, not when you refinance, never, ever again for the rest of your life. If you haven't applied for disability yet, you 1,000% should. Now, I'm a veteran mortgage advisor. I'm licensed to do VA mortgages all across the country, but what I'm not licensed to do is talk to you about VA disability claims. I can, however, point you in the right direction of people who can. I have people who have done my case, and I've probably sent, I would say, about 200 or so veterans and service members over the course of my career over to these people. So if you do want their contact info, all you have to do is reach out and I'll point you in the right direction. But what I want you to understand is the bottom line is the way to get around the VA funding fee is to have a 10% service-connected disability rating or higher. And you can get that just by having tinnitus, which I'm sure all of you watching this video definitely do, because I know mine is constantly flaring up. Now, if you liked this video, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm Justin Chermak. I'm a veteran mortgage advisor, and this is what I do. I'm licensed all across the nation, and what I do is teach you how to use your VA home loan, and I can take you through the process.